Welcome to Ice Cream Monday, a podcast where we talk about one of the things we like best in the world, ice cream. Each Monday, we taste a flavor of ice cream and tell you what we like about it. My name is Delaney Pryor, and here with me is my husband, Noah Pryor. Noah, are you ready to start screaming?
I am so ready to start screaming. Here, now, on video.
Crazy, right? Like, why are we here?
We are here to place all of the previous podcast flavors into a tier list.
I'm so pumped. I've been waiting for this the whole time.
Yes. It's one of those things where, you know, for a brief moment we were thinking, oh, we shouldn't make this podcast a competition. You know, it should just be about all the different flavors and we should just leave it at that. But no, competition matters too much to us.
Yeah, I mean, like, we have to...
Some
are so good they have to be talked about that way, and some are so bad they have to be talked about that way, you know?
Exactly.
So it's just unavoidable. So, of course, like, I'm feeling so lost. I can't use my typical, tell us about today's flavor, because there is no today's flavor. But how about you, like, walk us all through, how are we going to do this?
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through every episode of the podcast, and we're going to place it where it belongs on this tier list. So for those of you that don't know how a tier list works, it's typically like a grading scale. So A, B, C, D, F, but then there's also S tier, which is actually above A. Mm-hmm. That is actually the highest tier. I guess it probably stands for superior or something. So if we place a flavor in S tier, that means that it is the absolute best. If we place it in F, it's the absolute worst. If we place it anywhere in between, it's somewhere in between. And it's really that simple. So we're just going to see where all of the flavors we've tried on the podcast lie. So.
Yeah. And I mean, some of them I already know. I'm just like, this is gonna be really low, or some I know it's gonna be really at the top, and so I feel like we're not gonna end up with a lot of not B, but like C and D tier. I feel like there aren't gonna be a lot in there, maybe a couple, but honestly, like almost everything we've tried is really good. So I think it's gonna S and A are gonna be really full. I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
So
and let's get right into it, Delaney. What's the first flavor?
Okay, going all the way back to episode 1, we started with Bluebell's Southern Blackberry Cobbler.
Okay, and here it is. Now, one other thing that we forgot to mention is that we are doing this collaboratively, which means that Delaney and I might disagree on where we place certain ice cream, but we're going to come to some kind of agreement. We're going to split the difference if we can't agree on a particular one. So, I'll go ahead and ask Delaney, where do you think Southern Blackberry Cobbler should go? I
mean, for me, I think I've already probably told you this. For me, it's S. I mean, it just is. But if it's not for you, I could see a case for making it A tier. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just because like it really depends on how exclusive do we want S to be.
Right. Yeah. S tier, I feel like maybe this is arbitrary. But should we limit it to 3 flavors?
I don't know.
Or should we just I don't think that we should put a limit on it.
What if we go through and at the end of everything, if we need to make some adjustments, we can. Like after going if S literally has like 10 flavors in it, then we have to make some calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it has like 4, that's probably fine.
We can see if there is a double S above S
and
tier.
if so, we can put all the other S's in A or something.
Yeah. But I feel comfortable putting Southern Blackberry Cobbler in S. It is an extremely good flavor. It hits every time. The textures are on point. The flavor is on point. It's a really good flavor. I have a hard time finding any flaws. Mm-hmm. There are other flavors on the list I would put higher than it. But I'm comfortable leaving it in S for now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, one way that I know that certain things are A or S is like, I will 100% buy it again many times.
Yes.
Like, if I know that for sure, at least be an A. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's definitely at least A.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Are we just moving right along?
Let's do it.
Second flavor from episode 2. Tillamook's Campfire Peanut Butter Cup.
Okay.
This is an interesting case, in my opinion. What about you?
Yes, I agree.
Because going back to, it's obviously been a long time since we talked about it, but, flavor was really nice, but it was extremely lacking in toppings, like mix-ins, I mean.
Yes, extremely lacking, but it opened up a whole new side of ice cream for us where we had never tried marshmallow ice cream. And that's a game changer.
Do you feel like it belongs in like a B spot then? Because I feel like it's like surprise. It's so good. It's like tastes so good, but then it's also really underwhelming with the amount of mix-ins. So it's
like it's so good, but then it's also
it can't be an A.
No,
but I don't know if it deserves a C. I feel like B is like you tried really hard and you almost made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's put it in B for now. I feel good about that. Yeah. And we can kind of see as the thing goes on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, marshmallow base, peanut butter cups.
It's a great concept.
It was a great concept, and it really does hit.
Truly
we would definitely get it again.
I would say yes if I were really in the mood for that flavor. But if I were like, I want a really loaded ice cream today, and let's say I really want a peanut butter, I'm not going to go for this one first.
Sure.
Anyway,
sure.
I think we have other peanut butter ones that go above it.
Not all bowls are created equal with this flavor, I would say.
True. That's so true. Because it really depends on where in the carton you got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another interesting one. Episode 3, we covered cookies and cream cheesecake by Bluebell.
Okay.
Also, an interesting thing going on with this one, because remember how the texture was weird?
Yes.
It literally wouldn't hold a scoop.
Yes, the texture is so strange on this one, but the flavor is just so good.
Yeah.
It really, and again, I don't mind the texture. I actually like the texture of cookies and cream cheesecake. I'm telling you, I personally would put this in A. And this might be our first disagreement, but like that's where I'm at on this flavor.
I can see a reason for that because I 100% disagreed with the people online with the cold takes segment going all the way back. I remember these people. They were like, this tastes like old milk. This tastes like whatever. And I was like, yeah, it's cheesecake flavored.
Right.
And if you don't like the taste of cheesecake, which is ultimately very tangy, it's got a little zing to it. You're not going to like this flavor of ice cream. Yep. However, we love cheesecake.
Exactly.
So I think you're right. I think it belongs in A because I even remember we've had it since then. And I don't even think the texture was quite the same. I think we had it at your grandparents' house and it was like not even as crumbly.
I think you just get used to it, I think more than it being different, I think you're just, as long as you're expecting it, it's not as strange as you'd think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this flavor. Love cheesecake. Love cookies and cream. It's good, but it also isn't necessarily ice cream. Like it's hard to believe that this is Bluebell, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does stand out
because the texture is so different from other Bluebell flavors.
Yeah, but I think it's okay to put it in A.
Yeah,
because it was loaded with the Oreos and the cheesecake pieces, and that's always so good.
Yeah, solid flavor.
May as well have been eating frozen cheesecake, basically.
Yeah,
and cookies. All right. Episode 4, we had strawberries and cream, and this was in Florida.
Yeah, our first outside of the carton flavor live in person.
I remember it being really fantastic.
This is what I'll say. I believe that it was a really good flavor. However, I also remember it being not super special. The whole strawberries and cream thing, I believe that it was so creamy. And you have like the real strawberries in there, which hit so hard.
Yeah, no artificial flavor was really present. Like it might have been in there, but you couldn't tell.
Yeah, but here's the thing. comparing it to Southern Blackberry Cobbler or Cookies and Cream Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Or even Campfire Peanut Butter Cup.
Like, it didn't have a mix-in really at all.
It is not inventive in the same way that these other flavors are.
Yeah.
And I feel like, personally, that denotes a downgrade.
Now, it wasn't inventive, but is that what qualifies a good flavor? Like, does that... Because I feel like the quality of the bowl of ice cream that we had that day was truly so good. So does that warrant a higher ranking?
Well, but here's the thing. Are we ranking brands of ice cream or ice cream flavors? Because I feel like that's the difference, right?
I feel like we're rating ice cream experiences.
Ice cream experiences. Okay.
It's a combo, you know?
It was a good experience.
Because the texture was amazing.
Yeah. See, I would naturally want to put this in a C tier.
Really?
Yes. But if you think that it should go somewhere else, you know.
I feel like I would have put it in B.
Okay.
But are we going to round up or down?
We'll round up. We'll round up. The experience was fantastic. We enjoyed. I mean, we're sitting it's at the beach. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I just remember the strawberry flavor and it being so fresh.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it was delicious.
Yeah, it was really good.
It hit all the points it was supposed to. It didn't, it's not like, you can't expect like, oh, why didn't this have more like crunch in it? Yeah. Well, it didn't say it would.
Right. Yeah.
It was truly what they said. Yeah. Okay.
I'm all about it.
You want to go on to the next one?
Let's do it.
All right. Episode 5, going back to Bluebell, Gooey Butter Cake.
Gooey butter cake.
This is literally, I don't know what month this was, but it feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Weirdly, one of our most popular episodes.
Yeah, listener wise.
But I love this flavor. I think it's very unique. Mm-hmm. However, this is what I'll say about this flavor. I think that, in showing it to other people, it was very hit or miss.
It really was.
This was not a flavor that everybody was just like, oh, yeah, we love this. Some people liked it and some people did not like it.
It's true.
And I will say that it's not one that I'm really craving all the time.
Yeah.
It's a good flavor, but I think that it is so unique and like so sweet that it's not really for me 90% of the time.
Yeah, I would say almost anyone would have to be in a really particular mood to want it on any, given day. Again, it was really good, but yeah, it was so it's called gooey butter cake, but it really tasted like a lot like birthday cake. In my opinion, like cake batter kind of a thing. Yeah. And that is a really specific dessert profile. You know what I mean? And it's just, some people really like it and some people really don't. And so I like it, but I would say it can be a little much. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, I could use this a little more toned down. So do you think C?
That's what I'm thinking, because it's good. It's not a bad flavor.
Yeah. I just think compared to the rest, it's a little much.
Yeah.
It's not as refined, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. It was fun though.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 6, here we go. Brownie Batter by Tillamook.
Brownie Batter.
This is an interesting one as well.
This was a big one for me because it was in my memory, the first chocolate ice cream that I've ever liked. So it holds a special place in my heart for that reason. It was extremely chocolatey.
Yes.
And the brownie pieces in there were extremely good.
When they were there.
When they were there. But I personally would put this at least in B, if not A tier.
I agree with that.
Because I think that it is like eating just like, it's a chocolate bar made into ice cream. Like it is truly.
It's through and through. So
so chocolatey. Yeah.
And that's gotta deserve at least, And don't you think that deserves maybe even an A, just because it's just not okay, because we're talking about ice cream that you buy at the store generally. I do not think, for the most part, you would find a chocolatier ice cream at the store. Sometimes, like at a shop I've seen that we've gone to, they'll have like a super deep chocolate flavor. You know, they call it like triple chocolate or something, and it looks like this. But I really feel like just any grocery store you might walk into, this is probably the best tasting chocolate ice cream you would be able to get. Yeah. Like the deepest flavor.
100% of the chocolate ice creams that we've had on this podcast, it is my favorite.
Do you think it goes an A then? For us?
I think it might need to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is shocking to me, but I love it.
And we'll see, you know, we'll reevaluate as we go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Going strong here. Next up is episode 7. We tasted coffee with cream, and this was at the Sugar Queen Creamery in Knoxville. Oh yeah. Ooh, this was good. This was really good.
This was a good ice cream. That being said, I think that because this was a flavor that you primarily had, this is a flavor that for me didn't hit as hard. Yeah. But I'm not as much of a coffee person, and I didn't have as much of it as you. So I don't know if it would rank fairly low for me, but I also don't want to limit what you've got going on here.
Well, yeah, and I think that this is something we might come up on in a future flavor that is a little more recent, where it was more your type of flavor that you like. We could also just like let the other one pick the ultimate letter in those cases. Like maybe I kind of pick this coffee one and you pick the other one, because truly for me, when it comes to like ice creams I've ever had, this is like really high. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like to keep it fair, I guess maybe I could put the letter for this one, like put it in the tier, and then the other one I'm thinking of, the Passionberry one, I can let you pick the ultimate letter for that. Yeah. Okay. I would put this in B or A. I don't know. Okay. Like probably B.
B?
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, and that's not me saying like, oh, it was amazing, then I just put it in B tier like for no reason. I think I have had other coffee ice creams before that also had like mix-ins or something else to make it kind of special. So we put strawberries and cream in B. I think this kind of coffee with cream, it's kind of like a similar thing where it's only got one real flavor going on, only one real texture going on. Cool. So I think B is good.
But it's not necessarily a brand, but the Sugar Queen like ice cream is just like so good. It elevates it despite how simple it is.
Yeah. Well, and that brings us to the next one. Episode 8, we covered from the same place, dairy-free honey blackberry. Yeah. And
so this is a dairy-free ice cream, first I've ever had. And it had these blackberries in there.
It was so good.
It was so good. I would say, you know, despite it being as good as it is, I think the fact that it is dairy-free, like, made it maybe a little bit less of, like, this could be this has the potential, this flavor has the potential to be, like, an S tier for me. Yeah. But I think that the dairy-freeness of it all, it's like, I can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? Despite how good it is. But I would honestly...
It deserves A, I think.
I think it's going in A. Yeah. Just because, again, for what it is, for what they're able to accomplish with no dairy, it's amazing. And they deserve props for that. Yeah.
There is a world where it goes in an S tier.
Yes.
Maybe not this one, but like
and maybe it does for someone who can only eat dairy-free ice cream.
Oh yeah, I would think so. Yeah. All right, you ready? Yeah. Here we go. Episode 9. This is gonna be fun. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this one. Matcha Green Tea.
Okay.
Are we talking for ourselves or for people who like matcha green tea?
I think we're talking for ourselves. Now, here's the deal. We ate this ice cream. And we had a lot of positive things to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some negative things to say about it. I believe, but here's the thing. I think given the right circumstance, given the right toppings,
mm-hmm.
like, I don't think I would eat it again in that context.
No.
But I don't know, maybe like if there was like some chocolate syrup on there or like some other kind of element,
mm-hmm.
I could see myself eating a big bowl of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I don't think I would put it in F.
No, I don't think it deserves
I would
F.
put it in D.
Yeah, I agree, because let me tell you, I know what I'm putting in F, and you know what I mean? So like this is not that, and I would eat 2 bowls of matcha green tea over. Should I say the name or no?
No, we'll get there.
Let's just say it is way worse.
Yeah.
And so matcha green tea does not deserve to be in the same category. And I think what this comes down to is we are born and raised Americans.
Yeah.
And that means we have honestly limited palates. Like, American food is like the worst food in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, truly, we're just like, our capacity to just enjoy quirky, earthy, spicy, I don't know, just cool flavors is like we have been like desensitized to goodness here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think matcha, like, it's not for me, but that's probably because I grew up on hot chocolate. Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's just not it's not why we started an ice cream podcast.
No,
okay.
No.
And so it's like, that's not the flavor we were going for. So when you throw it in there, we're, again, I think given the right context, the like leafy, like nature flavor of it, I think it could be paired well with something, but on its own, which is how we've been eating all the rest of these, it just doesn't work.
Doesn't hit for us.
Yeah.
But I think I just want to make it clear as much as possible. Some people absolutely love this.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
an extremely popular flavor elsewhere in the world, and even still in America sometimes. So like, I just want to say, if matcha green tea is somebody's favorite, go you. You're amazing.
Go you.
Keep enjoying it, keep buying it, keep these ice cream people in business who make it. Go to local shops and eat their homemade matcha ice cream. It's amazing. And some people, there are people who hate chocolate, and like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. There are some people who hate things that I really love, and people can have preferences. So anyway, just wanted to make that clear. All right. Episode 10. I already know what's happening with this one. Salted Caramel Brownie by Bluebell.
And we're just going to put that in S tier immediately because that is where this flavor belongs. And I just want to say yet again, Bluebell, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's out of the store right now because it is not the time of year in which it is available. And I am yet again, for the 3rd time in a row of my life, awaiting on pins and needles the return, praying to God that it will come back. And that upsets me greatly. This flavor has everything. It has saltiness. It has brownies. It has caramel. What is there to dislike about this flavor? The answer is nothing. Moving on.
Hey, it's okay. I'm cool with it. I'm with you. It's wonderful. It belongs in S tier.
Yeah.
All right. And I feel like you deserve getting an automatic S because I pretty much made the first one. Yeah. I pretty much made you put Southern Blackberry Cobbler as an automatic S. So anyway, let's see. Okay, next is Cherry Garcia by Ben & Jerry's.
Cherry Garcia.
Whew.
Okay.
I love this one.
This is a really good flavor. I think it is. to me, gut instinct, this is an A flavor.
Oh yeah, at least, yeah.
Okay. I really like this flavor. The real cherryness of it all is really special.
Yeah.
Outside of other cherry ice creams that I've had. It is it really stands out as like a very good flavor.
And the chocolate chunks are really big.
Mm-hmm.
And it was loaded. The one that we got was loaded.
I mean, I think that's Ben and Jerry's whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm happy with A tier for this one. I mean, like there's a world where I would put it in S, but you know, A is good for now, I think. See, I knew it. A is like filling up, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, that's how it is. Okay. Episode 12, we went to Brewster's in Knoxville and had deep dish apple pie.
Okay. So this is a really solid ice cream.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So this is another one that was mainly me eating it. So I guess I have more authority here.
Yeah.
I loved, again, going back to what I remember loving about it, the crunchy bits that were to emulate the
crust.
The crust, were such a great idea. The fact that they add them right before handing you the scoop makes them so crisp and crunchy and wonderful. And it tasted exactly as advertised, which I love when food does.
Yeah.
That being said, I think with apple pie, it is kind of a very specific thing to want to eat at particular times. So I'm going to place it in B tier.
I was seeing that coming. Yeah.
I think it's a really solid ice cream. But it's not something that I would want like every day. And I feel like that is like what A tier and S tier is kind of being reserved for here.
Yeah, I agree. I think, let's put it this way. There is no shame in a flavor being in B tier.
No.
That it is still very high.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that there was really anything bad about it.
No.
It just means that there was something more about the other ones that are above it.
Yeah.
So just want to make that clear. Okay, so the next episode we were still covering a Brewster's flavor, and this one was French Silk. So this was also a chocolate flavor in a way. It was like a very different kind of chocolate ice cream. And I remember, like, this one was the one I picked. It was so good. I remember you liked it too, even though it was like a chocolate one, and that was like really new for you.
Yep.
So the thing about this one is it was he called it bougie.
Yeah.
I still think it definitely fits that category. And in that way, it's kind of like I wouldn't want to eat this ice cream every day because it's sort of special. It's, it reminds me a little bit of what we talked about last week with, the raspberry chocolate one, where it's like, this is what you would have in a fancy restaurant, probably like on the dessert menu. And so it's really good, but I think it wouldn't go, it's not an S. I think it's probably B, you know?
Yeah.
Again, it's really solid, but it doesn't necessarily crack those upper tiers, in my opinion.
Sure.
Because it's a little basic. Just a little.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really good. It was again, like I already said, the Brownie Batter is probably my favorite chocolate ice cream on this list. That's probably my second. I think it's a very unique tasting flavor.
Yeah.
Because it's like half chocolate, half not. Right. And I remember the chocolate bits that were in there were really good too, but it is, but yeah, I think it belongs in B tier.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that. All right. So next up, interesting one to compare it to is the seasonal flavor that Bluebell put out new this year, chocolate brownie truffle. Now, this one was loaded with chocolate of multiple types.
Yes. Yeah. It's got those truffles in there.
That was probably the best part.
In your mouth. Oh, yeah. Anytime you got one of those, you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. This bite is one of the good ones. I mean, and they're all good. But and obviously it has the brownies, which we love already from Bluebell's salted caramel brownie flavor. The thing about this one that I would say, you know, it was a chocolate dream but it was only a chocolate dream.
Right.
And so I feel like that knocks it down a little bit because it was just, it's interesting for something to be so loaded with different things and still feel kind of one note.
Yeah. Yeah.
But does it go in A still? I don't know. Because it was, the loaded part is like really fun.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I don't think I would put it in A. I don't think I would put it in A.
Because here's the thing. Would I buy it again? Yes.
Yeah.
But would I buy others before it? Yes.
Yeah. And I think that overall, Tillamook might beat Bluebell out on chocolate flavored ice cream.
Yeah.
And that's kind of also what we're experiencing here.
Yeah. So now B tier is filling up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising. Not surprising. You know, only certain things are supposed to achieve an A or an S. Like they're reserved for the best of the best. Speaking of which, next flavor is Maine Blueberry Belgian Waffle Cone.
Oh, snap.
I don't know about you. This is like, my first instinct is S.
Really?
It is. Okay. I don't know. You might have to talk me out of that though. Like, is that too much?
I personally would maybe reserve S for a different private selection ice cream that's coming up on this list.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that this ice cream is so good, but so specific.
Yeah.
Again, it's similar to
it's like gooey butter cake, kind of. But like not. It's better than gooey butter.
Yeah. Oh, much better than that.
Because it has the tang of the blueberry a little bit, and that adds a different dimension.
It's not going lower than A for sure.
No.
I'm just saying that I don't know if I want it every day.
I know. I want it right now, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like it feels like the time of year for it.
I know.
For sure.
It has to go in A or S. I mean, like, I would be happy with putting it in A for now if we need to. And then
let's put it in S.
Yeah.
And we'll,
oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll look down the line and
this is so
adjust it later.
Okay. The moment we've all, I mean, just I, have been waiting for. Episode 16, the original Rocky Road by Eddie's. It goes in F tier, moving on.
We really, from S tier to F tier, it was a real drop off for the podcast. A very sad day.
My hopes were so high.
Yeah. And here's the thing is that, like, what's sad about this is that I do believe it has less to do with the flavor and more to do with the brand. Yeah. Not to drag a particular brand through the mud or anything.
Yeah. Eddie's what? Who?
Yeah. Yeah. But let's, we don't need to resonate. We don't need to like marinate in this one for too long. Let's
keep going. Okay. Next, very interesting entry into this conversation. Passionberry sugar cookie, which we had at Oddfellows in Pittsburgh.
Now, here's the thing, Delaney. We talked a lot about how the passionberry flavor was not that bad.
No, it was good.
How we liked the flavor.
Yeah.
However, this is truly a flavor that the more I think about it, the more I hate it. And it has nothing to do, again, with the passionberry, but everything to do with the texture of this ice cream and how abysmal it was. I think it belongs in F tier.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think that the flavor earns it a D a little bit?
Texture is so incredibly important to me that I just can't move past it. Despite the if again, that's what I was saying is that, like, back when we were saying that, it's like, maybe it's not Oddfellow's fault. Maybe it is the passionberry's fault, but then don't put it in your dang ice cream. It was a bad idea, right?
Yeah. Or bad execution. Some ideas are good and then you have to give up because it didn't work.
Yeah. Whichever way. But That's where I would go. If
Wow.
you believe that it should go higher, I'm willing to adjust.
Again, this one, because it's you kind of like chose it when we were there, I feel like you get the final say on this flavor.
But we fully shared it though. So
I know.
I think
but here's
that,
if we're talking about rating experiences too, this one made us sad because it was expensive.
right.
And so I feel like even for that, it deserves an F tier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's do it.
This brings me no joy.
No.
To put this flavor in F tier, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Like right now,
It's
sad.
good on paper.
It really is.
And it should have been good.
It should have been so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We take ice cream very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. This we're gonna catapult into the upper tiers here. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're almost to the end. Episode 18, Bada Bing, Bada Bourbon from Rosie's handcrafted ice cream in Buffalo, New York.
This is a good flavor. Is a really, really good flavor.
Solid.
I think that the only thing keeping it out of S tier for me is the same thing that I would hesitate to put Maine Blueberry Belgian waffle cone in there, where it's so strong of a flavor that I'm just like, I don't see myself being in the mood for it every single day. But
it's funny. I kind of do for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still think I would put it in A tier because like it did melt really fast. Remember that?
That's
true. It was
true.
like a soup within like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
which is
true.
a problem.
So that might just be their kind of concoction. But man, the flavors were so
It was so on point. And like the crunchy, the chocolate covered pretzel thing, whatever that was in there, it had a long name. It was so good.
Yeah.
Something toffee chocolate. Yeah. It was so, oh my gosh.
Way
I'm
to
remembering
go,
it right now.
Rosie's.
It was
It was
amazing.
so good.
And I literally want to go back to that city just to go get this ice cream.
Exactly.
But it's way up there. Okay. Here we go. Second to last. Episode 19, Reese's Peanut Butter by Breyers.
Now, Delaney,
I think I know what you're about to say.
this might belong in S tier.
This would be the biggest surprise, I think.
Yeah.
Biggest upset.
Because it's like, is it an insult to these other flavors?
No.
To just put something with Reese's
Let's
peanut
just say
butter in
it is not bougie.
It is not.
It is not, but it is fun.
It is fun.
It hits every mark for me.
I just never see myself not in the mood for it.
I know.
Like,
it would be
it's
crazy
hard.
if this went in S tier, but isn't that? I don't know.
Here's the thing. Let's throw it up there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're gonna come back to reevaluate anyway, because we're coming. Let's be honest. We're coming right back to S tier. What's this last one?
Black raspberry dark chocolate chunk. It is going up there. It's true. I wasn't lying in our episode last week. It is one of my new favorites ever. I could eat it probably every day. And I did for a while.
Yeah, it is so good. That dark raspberry flavor and these massive chocolate chunks. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
The texture was perfect as well. It was creamy and it wasn't too, I don't know. It didn't melt too fast. It was like
it's perfect.
Thick. It was rich, and it was also kind of fresh. I don't know. I can't say enough good stuff about it.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. We're tied in numbers with S and A.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
So here's the thing. Personally, when I'm looking at the S tier, I feel really, really comfortable with salted caramel brownie and black raspberry darklet chunk being in
black raspberry darklet chunk.
Oh yeah, but whatever.
Dark chocolate. There's a new word, darklet.
Darklet, yeah. Black raspberry dark chocolate chunk. I feel very confident having both of them be in S tier.
Yeah.
The rest could be an A tier for me. That's where I'm at. And if you have any similar feelings, those are the ones I'm okay to budge on.
Yeah. Again, it's like the whole point of a tier list is that you don't have to pick a number one, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's nice. But I do think 5 is a lot for S tier.
Yeah.
Like truly we have to pick the best of the best of the best.
Right.
You know? I really do still feel like Southern Blackberry Cobbler belongs in there for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just do. I don't know. I've just never had anything else really
It's
like
really
it.
Good.
So I could be convinced to take out the Maine blueberry and the Reese's peanut butter and put them in A. Like that would be okay with me.
I think,
you know, in that case, do we just have a top 3? Like these are the 3 best ever. Like,
I think because here's the thing. I think that Maine blueberry and Reese's peanut butter, both of those are really good, but again, they both do, I think, fall victim to the same thing that some of these other A tiers are falling victim to, like Bada Bing, Baba Bourbon, or like, or even the stuff that fell from A tier to B tier, where they're just so specific that you might not want to go for it.
Yeah, it's like if you don't like blueberry Eggo waffles, like you're not gonna put that Maine blueberry in S tier.
They're both so sweet.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're not in a sweet tooth mood, you might not want to go for it. Again, Reese's hits different for me, but I'm willing to drop it down to A for the sake of, you know, winnowing it down, because I do believe it. And it's honestly, it's less that those flavors are worse. It's just that the other flavors stand above.
And here's what is important to me about the 3 that are now in S tier.
Yeah.
They have such good contrast.
Yeah.
Of, you know, tart and sweet, salty and sweet, rich and creamy, and also fresh. There are just certain things about them that make the flavor as a whole just very well-rounded, very well thought out, just hard to find any fault with, you know? And I like how different they all are. Those don't really have anything in common, the 3 of them, you know?
Yeah.
They're 3 very different ice cream experiences. One of them has literally only one, like, second element with the chocolate chunks with the dark raspberry. And so that's kind of like maybe we call that the bougie flavor of the 3. And then we've got salted caramel brownie, which I feel like is for all the chocolate lovers out there, for all the chocolate caramel lovers.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, I feel like if somebody's a chocolate lover, they probably don't have a huge problem with caramel by and large, and probably like them together. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then the Southern Blackberry Cobbler, you get the pie crust type element, but it's, you know, cobbler topping, and the berry, and it's like very summery. I don't know. I just feel like that's a great top 3.
Yeah, I agree.
They're so unique from each other.
I agree. I think we have a tier list.
Wow.
And I feel good about it. There's some prizes on here, but also I knew that these 3 were going to be above the rest. I just kind of had a feeling.
Yeah. And we knew some were going to be below.
Yeah. Some things were not surprising at all, but this is fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing this. Are you ready to reveal what we're doing next week?
Yeah. We don't have a flavor name to share with everybody, but we have a very different thing that we're doing, which is... Wait, am I supposed to say it? I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
You go ahead.
We're doing our first series here on the podcast of the first one. It's going to be of holiday flavors. You know, Christmas, winter. I don't know if we'll cover any kind of like fall flavors because we sort of already did. So I think they're going to be mostly Christmassy.
Yeah. So for the rest of December, and maybe the first week of January, I can't remember, but for a little while, we're just going to be doing Christmas flavors, which isn't interesting. I think it's a sad time for ice cream. I think that ice cream gets a bad rap this time of year.
True. They need our help.
But yeah, they need our help. So we're going to give them, we're going to continue shouting out ice cream for all the months that are people typically don't eat ice cream. So that's what we're doing. So we're excited, and this is going to be a new season of our podcast where after this series wraps up, we're moving right into another series. But we're not going to reveal what that series is yet.
Everybody's going to have to wait.
But can't wait for you all to join us next week. So
yeah, this was super fun today. I think obviously we tried something out really new with like the video element and the visual of the tier list as well. Lots of elements went into making this. We had quite a time getting the tech set up.
Yeah.
But we made it through. We're here. We had a great time. And we got to talk about one of our favorite things.
Yep. Good days. So if you want to support this podcast, you can do so at patreon.com/Prior Creates. That's PRYOR Creates. And you can follow us on Instagram at Ice Cream Pod for pictures of all the ice cream that we talk about on this here podcast.
Yes. I'm so thrown by this. I don't know what to say. Do we say bye?
Keep screaming, everybody.
Oh, boy.